All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of Pick Truth. I'm your host, Dr. Vicky Harris. I'm here with my co-host,
Lamont Hearn Jr.
and we're here to bring the heat. It's the an on the ones episode. Yay! Insert like shine, like celebration here. Okay, yeah. And so it is an on the ones episode, which means that we have a guest. Lamont, would you like to introduce our guest for this episode?
Absolutely. So this guest is pretty special to me. This lady happens to be someone I've known for the better part of, I'd say, about 12 years now. She just so happens to be my wife as well. Nakia, is there anything you want to say about yourself directly?
Hi, I am Nakia, and I am his wife.
Come on, man. So I kind of wanted her to kind of take a little bit of that, but she is an integral part of this show. She does help us out with social media. She has also done a lot to help us just in general as far as different ideas with the show. She's actually been here since the incubation period of the show, along with the husband of Dr. Vicky Harris, who may be on an episode at another time. But since we have you here, what else would you like to tell, our listeners about yourself?
Well, when I am not helping with the podcast, my fun thing I love doing is crafting, designing, and making things pretty. Absolutely top favorite thing to do is spend time with my family. Of course, my husband and my two little people. I love going up to their school and being part of the school culture and being part of the village. So I am a person who loves being around people and just doing all the extroverted things that I can do.
Excellent. Excellent. So I won't describe Nakia. Words cannot tell you how short she is. So for the rest of this episode, I'm calling her my sweet little shoddy. As my shoddy for the rest of this episode, probably forever, because I ain't got no sense whatsoever. So I know typically we kind of go about our week and all that good fun stuff, but I have two things. First, I want to give a shout out to Ashley Duckworth. I think that's her, Ashley Duckworth. Just wanted to give a shout out to you. You are one of our very few first commenters on our YouTube space. And you know what? I just thought it'd be amazing to say hi. Appreciate your feedback and keep listening to the show. So I hope you catch us either on our YouTube show or anywhere you find your podcast. So shout out to Angela. Oh, excuse me, Ashley Duckworth. Sorry, it happens. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Okay, and so another thing. So I was trolling Reddit, because we get a lot of our stuff from Reddit until you all start to send in some of your anonymous stuff. So I was trolling Reddit and something caught my mind, and I'm gonna start it out. So this is not one of our confessions, but I just thought it was interesting. So it's titled Response to My Mom's Friend Who Asked for 10% of My Income. A few days ago, my mom's friend called me and told me that God asked me to give her 10% of my income. And if I obeyed the Lord, I would be very blessed. So the original poster didn't actually answer the phone. They sent it to voicemail and heard it the voicemail afterwards. So to take this all into context, this is a 30-year-old woman, and this is a friend of their mom. And since this person, the original poster or whatever, has been around for since 7 or 8, they've been around this woman, and she decided that she doesn't work because God told her that she wasn't supposed to work. So she's never had a job. this original poster's mother and grandmother helped her out for years and years and years, giving her thousands of dollars and enabling them, and even paying for the tuition of this woman of Lord of Jesus. I don't know. Jesus said Lord, it didn't say Jesus. So God's handmaiden who's not supposed to work and tells people to give them 10%. So anyway, I just thought, what would you do? Like if someone came to you in that, like, you know what? God told me, run that. Run those coins.
Well, since we have a guest, I will let the guest go first.
All right. Well, my first reaction is you out your effing mind. I absolutely do not disagree with tithing to the church. I don't feel like I should have a set amount that I have to tithe, but who are you to tell me I'm supposed to tithe to you? I don't owe you nothing. So no, and I might tell you to go F yourself, but
Even though the Lord told him to tell you?
The Lord didn't tell you that. That was you.
Oh. Oh. Now, what if the Lord told you? What if the Lord said, "I'm gonna need you to bless Vicky with 10% of your income"? Like, what if God told you that? I'm just trying to see how much you love the Lord. Like,
see, this is the thing. I don't feel as though that is how the Lord talks to me. He doesn't tell me to do something like that. It's more of there's something going on with your friend. Talk to your friend to see what.
That's because you're not listening. You're not listening to the Lord. You're not listening right. Because he might say, run that. Give her 10% of everything. Shoddy.
Well, you know what?
Like,
I guess and then I am disobeying the Lord, and I hope he don't strike me down for that. But I ain't heard him tell me to give nobody 10%.
What about except for the church? Because that they asked for 10%. I can give you my unpopular opinion about it all.
Yeah,
but
speak to it.
No, I mean, okay. First of all, I'll just say, what kind of gall must you have to be a friend of my parents and ask me for coins? Ask me for, and like the thing was, like, you didn't just say, God told you to give me 1,500. You wanted 10% of my income. Every time I get $1, you get 10 cents. Like, that gall is crazy. Crazy. But then I'm going to say this. How we know God didn't tell her not to work? Because she been surviving.
Right.
She got her kids' stuff paid for. I'm just saying, we don't know. But I don't think I would ever have the gall to tell somebody run 10% of their income. What do you think, Lamont?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. You said it was a phone call, right? There was like a voicemail. I just will leave it unread. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I'm gonna be good. Like, it wasn't the call that Jesus had for me. Like, I don't believe that was for me. I don't think that was, Jesus was not on that main line. That was not for me. That's all I'm saying. If you've been making your way this long and he's seen fit to carry you and cover you because you've been still as he wants you to be, then he's gonna see you past this bump in the road. You sent that voicemail, but you sent it to the wrong number. You were one digit off. I understand. Amen. Yes.
Crazy. I don't know. I just thought that was.
He didn't speak to me and tell me that.
Well,
he spoke to me and told me to go to work tomorrow. Sorry.
You should be like, you know what? Once the Lord confirms that 10% with me,
yes,
I got you. Like, I'm gonna need a confirmation in my spirit.
Right.
Then I got you. But I heard nothing yet.
No, and he speaks to me the same way he speaks to you, and he didn't tell me the same thing he told you. I'm sorry. I can't go against that. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it.
Hey, before we jump on over, have you all seen the HBO um, documentary BS High?
No.
No.
Go watch it.
Okay.
It is insane. It is about goodness. I can't even think of the first name. Beacon Sycamore High School in
Oh,
Ohio.
Bishop Sycamore. Okay.
Bishop Sycamore High School. Yo.
I know what the school is. Yeah. I'm aware of the
Yeah.
school.
Yo. It is the most insane thing. It is about basically a high school coach that really didn't have a high school, but had like kids and grown men playing high school football against other people across the country. And like it's like the pinnacle of this, like the pinnacle of it is like they literally play one of the best high school factories, and we need to get on that, but a high school factory for making football, IMG football. Their preps, they are made for, it's a cattle ranch because the players don't make money, but the school just got bought for like $1.5 billion from a venture capitalist firm. So like it's basically this machine that makes football players. Well, we'll talk about that stud farm in a second, but later. But ultimately, his team plays this school on ESPN. Mm-hmm. And some of these people are like in their 20s, 30s on this team. Like, you know, they got 17-year-olds all the way up to like 20 something, right? Mm-hmm. The IMG demolished them. I mean, it was, the kids didn't have the right equipment. They kept sharing helmets. This guy, like, he confesses that like in the morning he would call a store and say, I need 25 rotisserie chickens. And then he wouldn't pick them up. But right before the deli closed, he would go when they mark them down to $2 so he could go buy them all to feed the kids. Yo, crazy. Go watch it. If you listen, go watch it, and we can talk about it on our Patreon episode. It is. I never. Even watching him, it makes me uncomfortable. Watching him, it's like if he walked into the room, I would feel uncomfortable. Like, you know how some people give you the heebie-jeebies. Y'all need to trust that. Yeah, everyone, listen. You hear me? I'm talking to you. Trust that feeling, like when something just it's a little, you can't explain it. They never really did anything. Like it's just something weird that go ahead and trust that. Go ahead, because something's telling you. Sometimes that's right. Sometimes it's like just stay away. He's one of those things that give off that I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe kind of vibe. That's for me, but I don't know.
You know, that's the Lord speaking to you right there, right?
Come on. And he ain't asked for 10%. Come on. All right.
I can't fool.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our first confession for this episode. And this one's a little bit weird. And seeing that we have a guest, I think it's pretty appropriate to kind of talk about it. It is titled, Am I Some Kind of Sadist? I don't know. Reading about people being hurt gives me a feeling of joy. It's hard to describe, especially fictional characters, because I'm surrounded by many very happy and unproblematic friends in my life. The opportunity is just not given to have, hurt feelings. Now, watching people I actually really like watching people I actually really like cry or have a mental breakdown makes me feel incredibly good. The same goes for characters being sad, hurt, drunk, sick, depressed, on drugs, mentally ill, on the edge of death, suicidal. Also, people hurting themselves. That's probably the worst thing that he kind of likes. I know it sounds fucked up, and it is. I wish I didn't feel like this anymore. I want to clarify that this is not a sexual thing. I'm asexual and find nothing sexually attractive generally. It just gives me a massive boost of enthusiasm. And after reading or watching scenes like this, I feel very, very happy. I recently got into dark fan fiction. So it's taking characters I like from shows and things and putting them into situations that I've described. But I feel so conflicted. Shouldn't the opposite be the case? Yes. Shouldn't I feel incredibly bad? Probably. And I really want to find another way of feeling so good. I don't know if I should see a therapist or talk to someone. I can't tell my friends because I don't want them to think I'm a sick psycho. Because I'm not. I feel awful about being this way. Whew, that's a lot, Nikia. We will start off with you.
So I need the rating scale again. Because for me, yeah, let me get that rating scale one time.
All right. You have a mild truth, which is a bell pepper, a poblano, which is your truth could irritate others. A jalapeno means you have a spicy truth, and we're giving you the side eye. A Thai chili is what the F? I am judging you. And then a reaper is you take that truth to your deathbed.
So kind of a jalapeno for me. Like I don't. That one's different. Because if I don't think that this is something that is being expressed to the world with this person's name attached. Like this is a confession that they just are like, I just want to get this off my chest because I feel a little different about the fact that I get a joy out of people being um sad, basically. Um, which is it's against the societal norm. Like you're not supposed to be happy because somebody is sad. That's not, I mean, unless it's like a game. Like I'm sad because I lost the game, but I'm happy because I won the game. Okay, that's totally different. But like Becky's aunt died. Oh, that brought me joy. Like those type of things are just kind of like against the norm. So yeah, I am gonna give you a side eye. I'm not gonna judge you because okay, but yeah, I am gonna look at you a little bit differently. So yeah.
Okay. Lamont, what do you think?
I think I truly think this person it's kind of interesting. Like they said, they are it's not a sexual reaction. They're not getting any sexual gratification from this, as they say. Um I think there are people, I think we'd be naive to pretend that there are people who do not take pleasure in seeing other people fail, especially when they feel like they're succeeding. Clearly, I do believe that there are people like that. Um, some of the things that they find to be so interesting do seem kind of extreme. Um, I wonder if they've ever talked to a therapist about this. Just trying to work through uh, the layers of this, or to see if there are layers, or if it's just purely surface level, and they're just like, "Hey, listen, you fail, I'm happy. You succeed, I'm not into it." Like, just wondering if that's what it is. I'm definitely judging. Well, I guess I'm giving a side eye here, so it's a spicy jalapeno for me. As long as they're not contributing to someone's ill will or issues, I think there's a line there. It's still concerning, but as long as you're not actively participating in causing people these type of issues and concerns, I think it is something that more is maybe a therapy type thing rather than anything that is any further at this point. But yeah, I think for me, this is a spicy jalapeno.
Do you think therapy works?
I think it can. I think there is not a one size fits all. I think for some people, they will go to one therapist, find out it doesn't work, and kind of just wash their hands of it. I think there is different levels of therapy in that way. If there is something that they find that's not directly a one-on-one communication, it could be a communal type of therapy session that may work better for them, just in a like an AA meeting type situation that could be beneficial, or even just talking it through with a loved one if that's what they need. So I think there's different ways of handling therapeutic needs.
Yeah. So I like that, Nakia, you stated that the societal norms that we all are kind of we live towards would make it frowned upon for someone to be like, I'm happy you're miserable. So like this was a deep one. I think you should do need to talk to someone about it on how to make sure that you do keep it under control, that you don't cause people pain, because it doesn't sound like that you were, but to make sure that you kind of keep it in check. It like what I was thinking as I was reading is it feels like somebody's wires were crossed. Like,
Mm,
like I don't know, there are no mistakes, but sometimes things kind of get mixed up. And I wonder if like something should have zigged when it zagged, and like I get pleasure instead of sympathy from that space. And it may be something that he cannot change or she cannot change. And so for that, but you add the societal norms onto it. If my friend told me that, like, okay, so what, a few months ago, what, less than 6 months ago, I lost a job for the first time in my life. And if someone told me, like, and then I was like sad, I was crying because I'm a human being. And if someone said to me, man, it felt good to know you were going through that, like that trial, like, it's like, yo, I can't be your friend. I can't
Yeah.
talk to you. And may not be your fault. You may have something zig when you zag. You know what I'm saying? But like that was like it was a very very difficult 2-3 weeks for me. Now, the whole time was hard, but it was like really sad. Like, oh, I am crushed. Something happened that I never expected to ever happen to me, and I didn't want I can't imagine any of the people who were in my circle that knew that were around me would hung up like, yes, she's sad. It feels good. So yeah, which makes me want to say, yo, you might need to keep this a reaper. You might need to go
mm,
talk to a therapist, because I don't know how many people, if my mom dies and you're over here giddy
mm,
and enthusiastic, like, and it may not be your fault. Like, you tell a therapist, see whether there's some other things, but from a societal norms perspective, you could not hang out with me because my feelings would be hurt. And you hurt my feelings too many times. I'm now just angry and I don't know how to behave like a normal human being. So I become
mm.
aggressive and spiteful. Because like, could you imagine the worst thing happened to you? Your friends giddying it up.
No,
Yikes.
no.
All the stuff that you think about, the worst thing you've been through, all the stuff you've experienced, all the times that, like, either, even if you didn't have someone, so sometimes there have been times in your life where you had people that you can lean on. There have been times where there wasn't. It was just you, the pillow, and sweet baby Jesus, or whomever it is that you call on for strength. And so, but imagine like you tell somebody and they over there feeling good about that pain, like
Right.
when you were curled up, or you try to play basketball all day until your feet hurt so you didn't have to think about it, or you know, whatever it is that you did. Could you imagine somebody's like your friend and they like it? Oh,
No, probably have
that,
to square up. I'm not gonna lie. Like either they'd have to just remove themselves from me, or we probably have a like, yeah, yeah,
yeah, it would be one of those things. Again, he may not even be his fault, their fault,
right.
something zigged when it should have zagged.
Yeah, maybe like a chemical
Hmm.
imbalance or something like that. Yeah,
But yeah,
And it might not even be a big chemical imbalance either. It's just that little slight, like you said, something's when it shows that. 'Cause, yeah, it just seems maybe they just don't. it's a socially awkward person. That's what it is. And I wonder, like you said, it's just they don't understand the societal parts of life. That's what it sounds like. But they really
Yeah.
should not tell anybody this. Like, that definitely needs to be kept to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess I'm not judging you, but I would keep it a reaper. Like, shh.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta keep it to yourself.
That's a rough one. That's definitely a rough one.
Yeah. Man, I'm over here ugly crying and you over there ugly laughing. Like you pissing on yourself with laughter. Like, I'm gonna take that personal. It's impossible not
Yeah.
to.
Heck yeah.
Like, and start talking about your mama. Like, just she ain't got nothing to do with this, but now I gotta bring her into it. Well, it is time for our next confession, and the kid, that is you. Are you ready for it?
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
All right.
Oh, no, well, I thought I had it. All right. I had an affair and no regrets. After 20 years of marriage several years ago, I set my sights on an amazing woman at work. I was married and she was married, but I played the long game because I realized how amazing she is. My wife was a cheater, abusive, and attacked me in ways I didn't even understand until I found out what a healthy relationship even was. I carried out an affair for 2 years without getting caught. Then we each divorced our partners, and 5 years later, I am married to the love of my life. Her ex cheated on her as well and abused her and didn't plan on losing her. He gave his heart out in a shithole with a loser of a new wife. And I feel like I won the lottery every fucking day. I presume my ex still spreads it out for every guy she meets online. I couldn't care less now. I tried so hard to make it work for 20 years and she couldn't muster up the effort to either end it honorably or be nice to me for 5 minutes out of the day. She never suspected and neither did my wife's ex. It all went according to plan and I couldn't be happier about it.
Ooh.
Mm.
Lamont, what are your thoughts?
Wow. Wow. No, that's crazy. My normal stance is I don't believe in cheating. I believe if that's what you feel like you need to do, you should leave. Um, so this was kind of interesting because technically he was still married and started. He did say he played the long game with the now wife while he was with his ex-wife. I'm not sure if I may have missed it, but there was direct relationship type interaction while still married to the initial
Yes.
wife, correct? Okay. Just making
Mhm.
sure I have that understood. Um, with that part of it, that is kind of spicy to me. I'm not gonna say, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to word this right because there's so many layers to it. It's like clearly this was a relationship that no longer was working for this man. His wife was already having her, or his ex-wife, I'll say, so everyone understands which wife I'm talking about. Was, as he put it, spreading it for anyone, as he chose to put it, and so it was already a messy situation. I'm gonna say for me, it's still Poblano. It could, because it definitely could irritate others. Because some people will definitely say two wrongs don't make a right. I stand on that as well. I don't believe that you should necessarily react with doing the same thing. Um, it's a spicier poblano for me though. I would definitely say
I can't
that.
believe you. I can't believe you're rating it at that low. I would have imagined you going higher. To
I
be
know.
honest,
That's the hard part I'm having here is because I'm kind of, like I said, it's weird. I'm feeling really torn here because my direct statement is I don't like cheating. It's wrong, period. Don't do it. Not my thing. But we've talked about a lot of different relationship things on this show. We've talked about couples where one person's in another couple where they found out the friend was cheating and they were told not to tell anyone. We've had different conversations about things. I'm trying to understand that there is gray area. Everything's not black and white. So I'm trying to come to the understand that there is gray area in all communications, and just things like this. So I'm trying to be a little more
Grow.
enlightened.
You're
Yeah,
growing. I
yeah.
see you.
You know what I mean?
See, look at that. I expected something different. Look at it grow. Look at it. Okay, so see, I would put this as a poblano as well. That your truth can irritate others. And here's the thing: there are some people that you cheat, you're the worst person in the world. You're not worth anything. You're all your value is now gone because they put all the value of one person in action. And like the moment you do that, your whole life is worth one action. The one time you do something that's inappropriate or messed up, then you have no value. So like I can't do that to other people because I don't want it done to me. So like, everyone has different experiences, and it can hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody can be like, you're a cheater. I'll never agree with you. If you'll cheat on your spouse, you'll cheat on me, which is really weird when you know people. It's really funny that if someone is comfortable enough to share with you that they are cheating on their significant other with you, they trust you more than their spouse. Because you couldn't tell your spouse that. I'm just telling you, you couldn't tell your spouse that. So like, even though like, oh, well, I could never trust you. Well, you might be able to trust them better than the spouse could. Because you don't have the same relationship. You don't have the same thing going on. So like, people could be upset by it. Like, I wouldn't bring it up. Like, everybody can just keep it moving and no one really has to know. And y'all were good. But I'm always, kind of hesitant to think everyone's a cheater. Like, was that your justification? Like, you got to take both sides of the coin and listen to of course, the original poster is going to have to make it sound like she was a bad person and all the other things. So, if she was indeed cheating, it was your opportunity to leave if that wasn't going to work for you. But like, I'm going to be honest, and some of y'all listening right now, people have stayed with people for the dumbest reasons. The dumbest reasons. Like, it's complicated. I can't find another place to move. I ain't got a car yet. I'd be off the bus line. Like, there are the dumbest reasons people stay in relationship. Oh, y'all, okay.
The bus line.
Somebody was like,
listen, the fact
you get off that bus line.
I understand. Listen, hey, I was on the 4th Street to get me to the 21, the 28. I understand. Sorry, I'm speaking on local city buses. Those who live here, since we've kind of mentioned where we at, those bus lines. They've changed since I used to ride them, though.
The inner city, because once you start getting out here in the suburbs, buses are far in between. And when you see them, you mad. Like, God, why are you even out here? How did I even see a bus? Why are you driving in front of me?
Right. Like, I swear, since we moved out here, I swear I don't see buses.
No, you don't.
No. So I'm with you.
No. Yes, the inner city. Sorry, y'all. So that tells you something else. Like, I rode the bus every day to school from 6th grade till I graduated. And then afterwards, when I needed to get to work, because I didn't have a car. So yeah, I rode the bus. Today, I don't know where a bus stop is out here by us. That's terrible. That's not good. That's not good transportation. But Nakia, you read it. What are your thoughts about this?
So, I'm looking back at the scale. Sorry. For me, it is. I'm not judging you because I just don't judge people. But I am looking at it like, what the fuck? Like, y'all did that you played the long game intentionally, but you both were doing it. And then, and that's the whole thing. This is all coming from the perspective of that person. We don't know what really was truly happening with that wife and what that other person was really truly doing to that wife. So this is all that spouse's perspective. So it's really hard to make that decision of what the hell just really happened here? So for me, it's a what the fuck? Like, y'all know y'all dead ass wrong for doing this long game. Like, you know you're wrong. But I also have that mentality of, you found the person who you was probably meant to be with, but you screwed up by not, you drug the ex-wife. This person drugged the ex-wife on during that whole time, instead of just being honest and saying, I don't think that me and you are meant to be, and ending it and going to be with the person who they obviously feel like they were meant to be with. And I'd love to see if the grass really was greener on the other side. Like, I'd love an update. Like, are y'all still together? How many times you done cheated on this one? How many times did you find a new person that you're in a relationship with now?
I don't know, though. It said they were together for 20 years. 20 years is a long time.
Very long time.
20 years is a long time. So, like, I'm sure that there was things on both sides. But something you said that I disagree with. I think that we as human beings have, especially in the United States, have been taught to think that everything is supposed to start a certain way. But like sometimes things start messy. So I think I said this last episode, listen, y'all might hear this again. So sorry if it's repeated it, but I'm repeating it. Everything, we always assume things are always supposed to start off beautiful. They're supposed to start off in this perfect way. And they don't. A lot of times things come out of mess that kind of force us to be better than what we were. Or, or experiences that are not necessarily have the positive spin that we want them to. So life is short. You've been married for 20 years. Assuming you got married at 20, you still got half a life. That's early. You got half a life to go. You should be in a space where you're happy and you're with someone that cares about you. But sometimes just because it starts ugly doesn't mean that it can't end beautifully. And then the other piece of that is, like, we are all making this up as we go along. None of us know the rules. We all just feel like this is the right thing because this is what I think is the right thing. And he could have been caught up in a relationship. He could have got somebody pregnant, and then like there's a requirement that you get married in that space or context for them. Like, sometimes you get put with people, and if we in this now, I ain't going nowhere now. We in it, or if you have kids, like, listen, if I wanted to leave my husband, I wouldn't, just because I can't leave nobody with these kids by himself. Like, no, not gonna do that to him or myself, because I let him have full custody. Like, I'm not. The boys need their dad. They need their daddy. We ain't fighting for custody. That's you. They need their daddy. They grown. I can't raise a man. Shit, don't let me pull out boyhood. I can't raise a man. You need your daddy for that. Like, oh yeah. I'm just saying. I ain't thought this through, but I'm just thinking. All right, Lamont, what confession? Yeah. What confession do you have for this week? Us this week.
Okay. I am going to need a timestamp at 39:10, just so I can say this. I don't have anything in mind for 61. I do have a confession I found already, but I was just making sure.
There's 3 in there. Did you go to the On the Ones episode? There's a On the Ones a folder.
Under the Pick Truth one?
Uh-huh.
Let me not lie then. Oops. So again, 39:10 to 39.
Yeah.
50. There we go. My confession for this week is titled
Hold on, Lamont. Hold on. Let me get you back in.
Go. My confession for this week is I used imaginary snot to psychologically excuse me. I used imaginary snot to psychologically destroy my opponent in a road rage incident. No regrets. I was merging onto a highway, peak hour traffic at a crawl. barely moving above walking pace. There was a gap large enough for a truck to slide into. As I start merging, BB, also known as Business Bitch, in her fancy polished luxury car floors it, cutting my merge off and getting one car ahead of me, clearly pleased with herself. BB then moved over to the faster lane, which was at a fast walk instead of a walk speed. But the gods of traffic were smiling down on me because that lane came to a complete stop. As I moved beside her car, BB looked directly at me with a smug, fuck you, peasant look. Not wanting to give her any satisfaction with any kind of reaction, I returned a blank, emotionless stare and inserted my finger into my nose up to the first knuckle. She looked at me with absolute disgust, but like looking at anything disgusting, you have to go back for another look. Well, I had her now. In walking pace traffic, she couldn't get away from my horror show as I was digging for nuggets like it was a gold rush of the 1800s all over again. The entire time, I'm maintaining solid, unwavering eye contact with BB, who is getting visibly upset at my disregard for her business suit and Sex in the City aura. Unfortunately, for my probing finger, there was nothing up there but memories of Snot's past. But I wasn't going to let her know that my well had run dry. I rolled my window down, let my car drift gently onto the edge of her lane, and started to flick my imaginary payload right at her car. The old sticky flick where I had to flick it 5 to 6 times because I had developed separation anxiety with my finger. The expression of sheer horror, like this can't be happening, as BB is trapped in stop-start traffic getting very sticky snot flicked on her car, was priceless. I drifted over a few times, repeating the whole procedure. Finger up nose, psycho blank stare, flick of the snot, and then laughing at her reaction as she literally screamed in horror and disbelief. At one stage, she actually drove with 2 wheels off the road trying to avoid my imaginary snot. The traffic picked up and we parted ways, but I like to think I taught her a small lesson in road manners. We shared a special moment and I entertained myself on the driveway. Sorry. The traffic picked up and we parted ways, but I like to think I taught her a small lesson in road manners. We shared a special moment and I entertained myself on the drive home at the same time.
That is absolutely disgusting. I don't know. I don't know if I should be in awe of the petty that, I mean, how petty do you have to do to be like, you know what? I'm going to actually dig in my nose and just gross this woman out. But I need you to be this woman, okay? I need you to be in the car and somebody straight eyeballs you, pick it in their nose. Like they haven't even thrown or flung snot your way. Straight eyeballs you, dig it in their nose. Like I need you to understand the fear some of us would have. Like, because I would be afraid. Because if I'm driving in stop and go traffic down the busy street that connects our road, and somebody's staring me straight in the eye, digging in their nose, fear. I would be afraid. And then this rolls the window down and starts flicking it. And, you know, as far as I know, you're flicking your snot. You're flicking snot. You're Spider-Man in your snot at my car. I would have been heated and disgusted. And I would have let that mug get way in front of me. Like, listen, everything I could have done does not separate. Like, I don't want to die because of road rage. Like, if I'm going to die, let it be something like, you know, because I ate too much. But not because somebody's yelling at me in the car. Like, because I just want to get home or get to my destination. But I can't even imagine. Okay, so what would I rate this? Yo, it's a jalapeno. I'm giving him the side eye because what kind of I'm trying to figure out what kind of like gumption I would need to be that bold. Like I'm looking at y'all on camera and I can't put my finger in my nose and pretend like I'm and be up in there and flick something like to be funny. Like I can't do that. I can't. Like, you know, yeah, that's foul. It's disgusting. for me, it is a jalapeno. I am absolutely giving you the side eye because that is unacceptable. That absolutely unacceptable. What do you think, Nakia?
So definitely side eyeing you. I know I am a road rager. I can't even lie. Um, but I have never thought to pick my nose and flick it at somebody's car. Like I am definitely I'm gonna ride next to you and I'm gonna stare at you because I need to see what type of ignorant I was just dealing with. But I have never thought to do something like that. That took a whole nother section of that like my brain doesn't work that way. Um that petty, I don't have it. And if I was the woman in the other car, like I think I would have just pulled over. Like because I'm going to think that you have a mental illness. Like, I really, truly am going to think that you have a mental illness. And now I am terrified to be near you. And if we're at a cross pace and you can actually stop your car and potentially get out of your car and walk over to mine, and I have no escape path, yeah, I'm a little scared now. So yeah, now I am side-eyeing you. I'm side-eyeing you. And I think that you just made this woman think that you were certifiable.
I agree with you, Nakia. I would have parked up on the side and let him get far past me. I would have put my blinkers on and just let y'all just go in front of me because not today, not today, because not today. You got what you wanted. I'm ignoring you. What are your thoughts, Lamont?
Okay, so first I have to give credit to the elocution. The writing of that confession was superb. Like you got to understand. Like at first when they mentioned they went up to the knuckle, I said, okay, cool. We've had some interesting stories, but just to hear this person speak of their well had run dry, but the gods of traffic were smiling down. Like all these, like the elocution and the petty together it mixed so well. You know, it reminds me of the trip we went to when we were at Mr. Ed's in New Orleans, and it was good times with the waitress and the food and the people. It was, it was just all came together. Sorry, it gave me a flashback. But back to the nastiness of the fact that this person was flicking imaginary snot boogers. I applaud it. I don't want it to happen to me. I think that's a different level of insanity. It's one thing if someone was willing to get out of their car. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not as pressed about that. But for you to go to the level of going, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to flick bodily fluid and bodily nuggets from my body, from my orifices onto your car. And I'm going to continue to stare at you emotionless. I don't know where you're going to reach into next. So I like you said, I'm pulling over because you started with your nose. If I don't give you the reaction you want, you may go reaching for other areas. And I don't want that kind of smoke. I'm cool because you ain't even trying to fight at that point. You want to see how sick you can get. And I don't want it. I'm not even that person. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I'm good. You know what? Go forth and be with God. I'm cool. I don't want it. I don't want it.
I'm gonna have to agree that I don't even know how I would actually handle that. To be honest, I would be so weirded out. That one, yeah.
I don't even know what pepper that is. I mean, I'm reading through our list and I can't. I don't want to judge you because I don't want you flicking them at me. I don't want to give you a side eye because I don't want to see you doing it. It could irritate others, but I'm the one irritated because it could be me, and I don't want to tell you it's Mal because I don't want you to be upset that I didn't give you a spicy enough pepper. So what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna give you a plot of land, and you grow whatever pepper you need to. Just keep doing your snot over there.
Fair. That was not what I was expecting. Not in traffic, and I don't know how I would handle it at all. Well, yeah, because I'm gonna have to pull over. You're gonna have to go in front
I'm
of
pulling
me.
over, then I'm going to the car wash.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
instantly going to the park car wash.
Yep. And
I would have felt.
I need the full service. I need the full, not the minimum, not the middle. I need that. Get it all. Get it. I need the detailing. You go ahead, sir.
See, but he know who he chose the right one.
Yeah.
Because he could have chose somebody that would have pulled that car over and lost their ever loving mind.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, y'all don't know what people are on the edge of or what they're doing. So he's pretty lucky, because I'm thinking of people who I could physically know. Like imagine if that was my brother. Like he pulled up on the side of my brother and he did that, looked him dead in the eye, knuckle deep, and then act like he put snot in his car. And I'm not gonna say my brother's car is like the best thing ever. It's not. Like, we got duct tape. Like, there was a time where he had to unplug the battery after you sat it down so that it wouldn't, decharge. Like, it was a whole lot. But I imagine my brother would have got charges.
Yeah. I've met your brother a couple times, just a few times, and yeah, for sure, he would have.
He probably.
Yeah, bro would have.
There have been charges.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I imagine there are people out there that would have taken his life, or just. So you're lucky. You knew the right one. You knew who you could do it to, because me and the kid pulling over, but you get other people, they pulling out. They jump, and it's a squirrel's place, man. They pulling out a crowbar and damaging your stuff. Like, nope. yeah.
Because just because you on that level of crazy don't mean the next person ain't.
Crazier.
Right. Like, you might be tame compared to what they about.
Right.
I see your nose picking and raise you a bat. Like, yeah.
Pull out that Louisville slugger. And you can't get away either.
Because it's this traffic. Like, but part of it, I'm imagining he fed off her reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He fed off her reaction. So if she just would have been like looking at him and kept it moving, like, even when he was started flicking, but that's hard not to have a reaction though. I ain't gonna front. Like, that's a hard thing. Somebody come up to your car and just pretend like you believe they're flicking snot on your car. Yeah, it's hard not to have a reaction to that. So, brr. All right. Well, I think that does it for this episode. First, Nakia, thank you for being here today on our On the Ones episode. Hey, and if you're interested, absolutely. If you're interested in reading a confession on our show, let us know. Send us an email at picktruthmail@post.com. And, let us know your confession. Let us know if you want to be on the show, and we provide a confession for you. But if you like today's show, help us out. Subscribe and send the show to 2 of your friends, 2 of them. Like, check this out. Just link it. You can send it in a text message. It's just not that hard. If you're not done so already, join our Facebook group, Pick Truth, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
We do also now. Sorry, I messed up. I ended up choking. My bad. We are very active on those social medias. We do try to interact with you all as well. Just so you know, the entire Pick Truth group, everyone in production, we all are there. So we are going to see your messages. We'll definitely try to follow up. But you can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe.
Any last words from you, Nakia?
Make sure you subscribe and make sure you comment on the posts. I love seeing all the comments.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time.
Later.